What if the best advice you've ever received is actually a trap? We're told to accept the things we cannot change, to find peace in letting go. But what if that peace is just a fancy word for giving up? What if there's a more powerful way? A way to not just endure your life, but to fall in love with it. Every single chaotic, painful, and beautiful moment of it. A way to look at your deepest scars and say, "Thank you." This is not just another self-help talk. This is a battle for the soul of your life. And the two heavyweights in the ring are Stoic acceptance and a radical, dangerous idea from Friedrich Nietzsche called Amor Fati. In one corner, we have the Stoics. Think of them as the immovable mountain. Figures like the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius and the statesman Seneca. Their wisdom has echoed for 2,000 years, and for a very good reason. For 2 millennia, this philosophy has been a bedrock for soldiers, leaders, and everyday people facing hardship. It's the idea that while the world outside is a storm of chaos, you can build an unshakable fortress inside your mind. Consider Seneca. One of the richest men in Rome, he was exiled to a barren island by a jealous emperor. He could have despaired. Instead, he wrote some of his most profound essays, focusing not on what he had lost, but on the inner world he still commanded. That is Stoic resilience in action. Their core message is powerful in its simplicity. Control what you can, accept what you can't. Your boss is a jerk. You can't control him, but you can control your reaction. It's a philosophy of resilience, of mental self-defense. The Stoic builds this inner fortress not with bricks and mortar, but with reason and discipline. The chaos of the world rages outside, but inside, there is tranquility. It's a shield against suffering. And let's be honest, in a world this unpredictable, who couldn't use a shield like that? But then, over a century ago, a philosopher with a fiery mustache and a hammer in his hand walked onto the scene, Friedrich Nietzsche, and he looked at that Stoic shield, and he wanted to smash it into 1,000 pieces. For Nietzsche, a life lived on the defensive was a life half-lived. He saw this Stoic peace not as strength, but as a sophisticated form of weakness, a weariness with life disguised as wisdom. He believed true strength wasn't in deflecting pain, but in absorbing it and using it as fuel. Nietzsche saw a hidden danger in Stoic acceptance, a subtle poison. He believed that by merely enduring life, you were saying a quiet no to it. You were implicitly wishing it were different. You were living in a state of dignified resignation, waiting for the storm to pass. To Nietzsche, resignation was a sickness. He didn't want to just survive life's storms. He wanted to dance in them. He didn't want peace. He wanted power. The power to look at reality in all its brutal honesty and shout, yes. This power to love one's fate is what Nietzsche believed could lead to the Übermensch, or the Overman. Not a superhuman, but a human who has overcome themselves, who has overcome resentment and regret, and instead of asking why me, they shout, try me. This is where he drops his philosophical bombshell. Amor Fati, it's Latin, and it means love of fate. This is not acceptance. This is a passionate love affair with your own destiny. Let's be clear how insane this sounds at first. Love your fate. Love the failures. Love the betrayals. Love the sickness and the loss. It sounds like a form of madness. But stay with me, because this is the key that unlocks everything. The Stoic says this happened and I cannot change it, so I will endure it. It's a rational, logical move. It's about defense. Nietzsche says this happened and it was necessary. I would not have it any other way. In fact, I willed it to have happened. It's an emotional, passionate act of creation. It's pure offense. To truly grasp this, Nietzsche asks us to perform the ultimate stress test on our lives. He gives us a terrifying thought experiment he called the eternal recurrence. Imagine a demon creeps into your loneliest loneliness, and it whispers to you, "This life as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more. And there will be nothing new in it, but every pain and every joy, every thought and sigh must return to you, all in the same succession and sequence. Every mistake, every awkward moment, every heartbreak, every single joy, big or small, on an infinite loop, forever." Nietzsche asks, would you fall to the ground and curse this demon? Or would you look it in the eye and shout, "Again"? That again is Amor Fati. It is the ultimate affirmation of life. It's the moment you stop being a victim of your past and become the creator of your future by reinterpreting everything that ever happened to you. You see, with Amor Fati, nothing is bad, it's just necessary. The pain was not an obstacle, it was the raw material. The setback was not a dead end. It was a crucial plot twist in the story of you. Let's make this concrete, because this is where the philosophy leaves the ivory tower and enters your life. Imagine you get fired from a job you thought was your dream. It's a devastating blow. How do our two heavyweights handle this? The Stoic would say, the company's decision is outside my control. My emotions are a natural response, but I will not let them consume me. I will focus on what I can control. Updating my resume, networking, finding a new position. This is incredibly useful. It prevents panic. It promotes immediate, logical action. It's a solid strategy for survival. But for Nietzsche, survival is the booby prize. He would demand that you see this event not as a setback, but as a gift. He would demand that you love it. The Amor Fati approach sounds like this. This had to happen. This rejection was not a punishment, it was a liberation. That job was a comfortable cage and the universe just kicked the door open. I needed this shock. I welcome it. I love it, because this moment of pain is the fuel for my next great chapter. Do you feel the difference? One is a posture of endurance. The other is a declaration of power. One says, I will get through this. The other says, this will make me. Let's take another example, a painful breakup. The Stoic says their feelings are not in my control. It hurts, but this pain will pass. I will focus on my own virtue and self-improvement. Again, this is healthy. It's a shield against the abyss of despair. The person practicing Amor Fati looks at the ashes of the relationship and says, "Thank you. Thank you for the lessons this pain is teaching me about myself, about love, about what I truly want. I would not trade this experience because it carved depth into my soul. I needed this heartbreak to become the person I am meant to be next." Okay, let's try one more. One that's terrifying in our modern world: public failure. Imagine you start a project, a YouTube channel, a small business, and you pour your soul into it, and it fails publicly. You feel humiliated. The Stoic response is, again, vital first aid. It would say, the opinions of others are outside your control. Their judgment cannot harm your inner character. What matters is that you acted with courage. Learn from the mistakes you can control and let go of the rest. And that's a good way to survive humiliation. But Amor Fati demands you metabolize it. It says, thank you, failure. I needed this public death to be reborn. This humiliation is not a scar. It's a badge. It proves I was in the arena. I love this failure because it's the necessary compost for my future success. The Stoic approach separates you from your fate. It creates a boundary. Here I am, and out there are the things I can't control. This creates a safe distance. Amor Fati destroys that boundary. It says you are your fate. You are the sum total of every single thing that has ever happened to you. To wish away any part of it, even the worst part, is to wish away a piece of yourself. The Stoic sees life as a series of events, some good, some bad, and their job is to remain emotionally neutral. It's a philosophy of subtraction, subtracting the power of external events. Amor Fati is a philosophy of addition. It adds everything to the story. The bad events aren't just things to be endured. They are the most important ingredients. And here is the most powerful consequence. It completely obliterates victimhood. How can you be a victim of something you wanted to happen? How can you be a victim of a fate that you passionately love and affirm? Think about that for a second. The entire victim narrative, the one that drains so much of our energy, it just dissolves. It cannot exist in the fire of Amor Fati. So how do you actually start? It sounds great to just decide to love your fate, but how does it work in practice? The first step is to become a detective of your own past. Look back at your biggest regret, that one thing you wish you could change. Now trace its consequences. What good things in your life today exist only because of a terrible event? What strength did you gain? What person did you meet? What path did it force you onto? You start to see that the good and the bad are not separate. They are woven together. To pull on the thread of one bad event is to unravel the entire tapestry of who you are right now. Amor Fati is the act of looking at that tapestry and finally saying, I would not change a single thread. The second step is a verbal affirmation. When something happens, good or bad, say the words Amor Fati. At first, it will feel fake. When you get a flat tire, saying love of fate feels absurd. But it's a practice. You're training your brain to interrupt the pattern of complaint and resentment. You're planting a new seed. Stoicism is the essential first aid kit. It stops the bleeding. It helps you get back on your feet. It is absolutely vital. But Amor Fati is the intense physical therapy that follows. It's what breaks down the scar tissue and builds the muscle, making you stronger than you were before the injury. So many of us walk around, secretly wishing our lives were different. If only that had not happened. If only I had made a different choice. This is the quiet no to life that Nietzsche warned us about. It's a constant poison, draining our energy. This isn't about ignoring pain or pretending tragedy is fun. It's about having the courage to believe that everything serves a purpose in the grand story of your becoming. The person who can truly say yes to everything that happens. They are unbreakable. The Stoics give you a shield to defend yourself from the world. Nietzsche gives you a hammer to shape yourself into a work of art. One is about preservation. The other is about creation. The choice, ultimately, is yours. Will you build a fortress and find peace within its walls, enduring the unpredictable world outside? Or will you step out into the storm and learn to love the feeling of the wind and the rain on your face, knowing it is making you stronger? So I'll ask you one last time, are you just going to accept your life, or are you going to demand that it was necessary, that it was perfect, that it was yours? The choice is not between peace and chaos. It's between being a passenger in your life and being the driver. Now, take the wheel.